Yo, what's happening over there? Justice Severn back out of here from the original chapters. I want to share this interview where really a strong figure in the space, Dave Sharp, owner and CEO of Legendary Marketer, brought me on to really share my story around how I was able to really get some quick success in the online space, especially heavily focused on the affiliate marketing side there. I really tried to go in there and just drop as many gems for his community as possible. I want to make sure to get you hooked up right here for being a part of this channel. So if you aren't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. So make sure you're all tuned into everything we got building up here and get you dialed in. All right, so I will see you in this interview. Let's get you rolling.
Justice, are you there, my friend?
I'm there, my friend. How are we doing today?
Good, my brother. You're coming in from Massachusetts. Am I right about that?
That's right, man. A little cold over here, more than I'd like, but we'll take it. We're rolling with it.
All right, my man. Well, it's chilly down here in Florida, too. That means it's below 70.
Come on now. You can't. That's hurting me right now. I'm loving that warm weather.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Well, listen, man, it's a pleasure to meet you and to have you on today. I'm excited to learn from you and about you. So give us the nutshell version of your backstory and how you got online and eventually what led you to being a part of our community here in Legendary.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I've always been, I went to college for accounting. I ended up getting a job there. I was in that world for about, 6 years. Always kind of having a side hustle. I'd always been looking for another way. I just knew from the start that was never my dream, never what I really had a passion for. Always been good at math. So I was like, you know what, let me just kind of get this, maybe get the money going and see where it takes me type of thing. But always looking for something. So, music was kind of a big passion for me, even still. So I kind of got into self-teaching myself how to be a music producer. Did that for kind of like 3 years. And then from there, got a job or a gig at a music studio in the city. I'm out in Boston, the capital out here. And I worked there, for like 3 years as well. So kind of like a 6-year journey. And then when COVID hit, the studio shut down. Even my accounting job started to slow down. And so I really started to kind of switch gears. And I was like, you know what, I'm putting too much time into this. The time for money factor was just not quite there. So, at that point, I got a 2-year-old daughter myself. I was like, all right, what can we do here to flip this around a little bit? So, at that point, I kind of started looking online, looking at ways to invest, looking at different things. I found out before I landed with Legendary, I found another program out there, kind of, give me a taste of what is out there, show me a little bit more about affiliate marketing. That was the first time I really got to hear about it. Didn't really step forward with them. But then, fortunately, Dave Sharp popped up on the interweb somewhere for me, and at that point, that was the first major investment I kind of took in my online journey there, and now flash forward, here we are, 2021, affiliate marketing. That's kind of where it kicked off for me, and so I don't really do the side hustle for music anymore at all. I got an acoustic I play around every once in a while, but I just completely shifted gears there.
Yeah, well, I looked at your Facebook page, and your daughter is absolutely adorable.
Oh, thank you, man. We lucked out with her. She's a sweetheart.
Isn't it unbelievable how a kid can, like, especially a girl for a dad, can just absolutely just change you from your old hard ass ways to just absolute jello?
Tell me about it. You hear people talk about a strong Y. It's like, oh my goodness, if she doesn't put a stamp on that to the max. Oh. Absolutely. And congratulations to you. I know you have a newborn as well.
Yeah. Well, I got a little boy here, and so we've got some balance in the house now. I'm not completely outnumbered, so I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna have
look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to train him, because my 4-year-old daughter is on one. I mean, she is like, I get away with nothing.
I can't imagine then. And I feel like now that my daughter's getting, like I said, close to 2, her birthday's actually this week, and she's approaching that 2 years old, and man, the attitude is starting to come out a bit more, but part of me loves it though. I can't lie. It's like she's starting to get real vocal. Oh.
Well, the attitude doubles every year, it seems like it doubles every year. Mine now is in like little heels, not high heels, but little heels, walking around with a purse. It was pop
Man.
my dad's birthday yesterday. So
Oh,
we were giving him some money for his birthday.
look,
We gave him a nice little surprise, and then she wanted some money to give him too, and had to put it in her purse, and it was just all about
man.
the
Look at the
presentation.
giving starting early. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great. That's tell you that
yeah.
mindset.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
she's a little entrepreneur too. She's a negotiator, and she sets up little ice cream shop businesses. It's fun, it's
Oh
fun. My
man,
daughter even
absolutely.
wanted to. I didn't put her on YouTube, but she wanted to start a channel, and little play channel of
Wow, I like that. You see all the
get on
time
you.
now.
Yeah, get on YouTube, and it's amazing, man, what we can give our kids these days differently from what our parents could give us, just simply because of the platforms and the information. So it's going to be, I know for me, it's been really exciting for it's not just nowadays, can I work hard and save money and then pass along an inheritance to my kid? It's what skill sets, it's what knowledge, what
Spot on.
opportunity can I show them that's available to them, even as youngsters, that wasn't available to me, wasn't available to my parents. And I'm sure that your daughter is going to see you working and hustling, and be
Absolutely.
curious, and how does that make you feel? I mean, how does that now, how does that feel now to know that you're showing her the hustle, the entrepreneurship, the independence, the creating her own destiny, that you have an opportunity to completely change her future, not just because of what you can give her in terms of money, but in terms of what you can show her and the doors that you can open for her?
Absolutely. Even just to kind of like step back, my father even kind of showed me how to, my first kind of entrepreneurship journey was starting going to book sales. When I was I think in high school, I'd started that. And, just kind of going there, buying books for, like a nickel to a quarter to a dollar, going on Amazon and then kind of flipping them that way. And I was making, a few $100s here and there. So, man, just like kind of having that and just kind of showing me how to do that was just huge. And so now step back or step forward to I have my daughter. It's like this internet game and just even business in general, it's always evolving and always changing. So the sooner that she can kind of see this and just start to even wrap her mind around, 4 years old, already starting to get these things in there. Now she's just I just know she can be able to adapt so much more come, 2030 or whenever that time comes for her, and she can really start to dive in that much more. So, so powerful there. And of course, I've kind of gone through the 9 to 5 journey, and now that I have this online business, it's just completely transformed. So just to know there's another way, and so many people in that, as you are, can imagine, talk to, I'm sure, the corporate world it's mind-boggling to think that there's something else out there. That comfortability level is at such a high that they're like, what do you mean? I tell my old accounting colleagues, like, oh, I'm looking at doing some stuff online. They're like, man, quit playing yourself. What are you talking about?
So interesting that you say my old accounting colleagues. During our mastermind this weekend, we had a lady who was a principal at a school and is now pivoting to, she doesn't do that anymore. She's not working in that education space. She's now working in this education space. Totally different vibe. No rules. Don't have to have on the suit or the pantsuit. Don't have to, speak in proper English all the time, right? I mean,
love the switch up. Exactly. Totally different.
Totally different vibe. So, but she was really concerned about the opinions that former workers had, and was having a hard time overcoming that fear of being judged, and that fear of being maybe looked down on and awkward because it was new. So walk us through your journey of how you have overcome that, or how you're dealing with that.
Absolutely. So, kind of going through, like, even just going through the blueprints when I first started, doing more of the Facebook grind there. Obviously, you don't have to kind of show yourself to your personal community as well, your family and friends. Once I took things more organic, and kind of just going straight off my personal profile, things really start to, it's for me personally, like at first, especially before I put anything out there officially, it at least was, running in my mind, like, just thinking of what they're going to say, how they're going to react. But you know, 2 to 3 days later after doing it, even after that first one, it was such a freeing feeling to put that piece out there and then seeing people comment positive things back. You know, it's like people that you haven't heard from in a while saying something back positive. And I think, you know, I tell it to people now because, you know, I do some coaching consulting as well, you know, in this kind of online space doing organically. So in that sense, I get that a lot from people as well, where they're saying, oh, like, what do I tell people, like, you know, about what I'm doing? I'm so new at it myself. I don't know exactly how to explain that. But at the end of the day, what I say, and I think, you know, someone told me is, you know, the people who are going to say something positive about you, you know, that's great. They're supportive. They're probably doing well. The people who are going to hate on you, they got nothing better to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, if that's what you're afraid of, someone kind of talking negatively about you, you know, then don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Because I know for me personally, like literally 2-3 days after it, I was like, oh, we're in this. And like, I'm the kind of person, once I'm in it, you know, I'm in to stay consistent. So at this point, you know, let's get to it. That's kind of the mentality I've had.
So you're not really letting the people who are not really paying your bills anymore dominate your behavior. In other words,
why give them that power? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of a more, but I mean, like a more kind of professional way to say it. But like at the end of the day, man, it's just like, okay, do you in any way, shape, or form have any influence on me paying my bills? Are you going to help me pay my bills? Are you going to are you going to make donations? Are you going to buy products and no? Okay.
No. All right then. All right then.
Just
oh my goodness. Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, the truth is that might be easy for us to say because maybe we have gotten over the fear of rejection or judgment faster. Maybe we're dealing with it better. But it is a real fear.
That's true.
It is a real thing.
Totally. Like for me, I think it helped because I was doing music on the side as well before I got into this. Like I said, I was doing it for basically like 5-6 years, all on my own, self-taught. And you know, I was doing it kind of that was my first kind of glance into social media. So I feel like what made affiliate marketing was a nice little switch up was I kind of was already in the online space, but on a different degree. But doing that, you know, I already dealt with that, I guess. I was putting myself out there as a music producer, as an audio engineer. People are seeing that. I'm out of college with my accounting degree. They're like, Justice, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, are you serious about this? Is this just like a hobby? I'm like, of course, you know, as committed as I am as a person when I get into it, I'm like, I'm trying to be professional. You know, I'm trying to take this and switch out my full-time job and do this. So I think you're probably right. That did help a lot, kind of already going through that.
Yeah.
So I just already knew, you know what, I'm doing this, and hey, any negativity I get, brush it off, because I know my real friends and the real people who actually support me are going to say something positive about it.
Yeah, and I can understand how you have already gone through that. That makes perfect sense. So now as you venture into this world, it's kind of like you've already sort of been through that door. You know what's on the other side of it. It's really, you know, you what actually happens is, my experience is that the people who are most vocal about judging or you know, questioning or whatever, they actually become your biggest fans, you know, you know, because they're so passionate about judging or questioning. But then when you follow through and you're still doing it some months or years later, they actually are the ones who kind of sneak up and hit you in the DMs, and they're like, hey, can I get some info on what you're doing? Like, what, you know,
long time supporter here, by the way. Exactly.
Right, trying to act like they supported you all the way, like the whole time, like when they were judging and shit back in the day. I have had several people like that who like, you know, I remember, because, you know, hey, of course, you never forget.
You don't forget
when somebody puts you down, or like, and I can remember, you know, like now I'll see like certain people and they'll be like they'll still be in like the trades or whatever, and they'll be like, you know, why didn't you give me that job? Why didn't you give me an opportunity to come and bid on that job at your house or whatever? And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Would you have been interested in that? Oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's like, fool. It's like,
come on.
You didn't support me, but now all of a sudden you want me to support you.
You know, it's
Right?
funny how that operates right there. Exactly. But you see it all the time, though. You see it all the time.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
human nature, and I think part of this game is about rising above the pettiness. I've had to find compassion for people. I've dug deep to find compassion for people, because at the end of the day, what I've learned, Justice, is, and I'm sure you've learned this too, is that people are just projecting their own fears and their own inadequacies onto me. It has nothing to do with me. Has
Absolutely.
nothing to do.
The Four Agreements, that was a book I read a while ago, and that kind of taught me about that. Like, don't let their poison affect you, type of thing, Just kind of move on, or else, because if you let it affect you, it will,
Yeah.
And you will be more afraid to kind of, put yourself out there, and it's just going to set you back there. Like you were saying in the intro there. And perfect action is huge. I preach that as well all the time, You just got to get in and start getting it going, because it's never going to be perfect your first start. You just got to keep on trying, shooting.
Yeah, the Four Agreements, never taking anything personal. I mean, in this game, it's really important. I see a lot of people who, and experience a lot of people who want coaching and so forth. And, my style is pretty direct. It's not personal, but it's direct. And sometimes people are taken aback by that a little bit. Just being direct. And we really have to, as entrepreneurs, take a look at, I think what I've done is I've taken a look at the different ways that I filter information, and I always ask myself in every situation, am I seeing this situation objectively, or am I seeing it through my own toxic filters? My own past is my own past baggage filtering this situation. And it's hard, because when we become entrepreneurs, we've sort of entered into this world to where we're now the ones who take on the brunt of all of it's like the dog eat dogness of the world. Whereas before we may have been somewhat protected by the boss or the company or whatever. And now ultimately we're responsible, and we're responsible to, it's kind of like when we come in and we buy a course or something, it's like, I'm responsible to do something with this. And if I don't do something with this, it's not that it's a scam. It's that I scammed myself and I bought something and I didn't do anything with it.
Have the intentions, yes.
That can be a hard pill to swallow, but that's the difference between entrepreneurship and everything else, is that ultimately we have to ask ourselves every week, when we look back on the work that we did, would I hire me?
Right. At the end of the day, come on. That's a big question to ask yourself. Exactly. And if the answer is no, you need to really do some soul searching there. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, how am I spending my time? How am I spending my money? Am I really serious about this? Am I really? So you've taken clearly a lot of action. I was basically, your main strategy that you've been using is kind of organic marketing, building relationships through, like, Facebook, for example.
That's my primary. Yep.
Is there a reason why you settled on that specific form of marketing versus video marketing or something like that, like YouTubing or TikToking or something else? Why is Facebook specifically in building, writing posts, and building organic relationships, getting people into the DMs and having conversations? Why have you settled on that as your primary marketing method?
Man, I would say as well, it kind of helped a lot. Big point, you have to invest in yourself, invest in training, and, kind of working with someone one-on-one who really helped me show the ropes, honestly, is what really kind of got me down. I was never really aware of that as an option. And once we went down that path, kind of was being able to get results, purely organically, like kind of like how, and shoot, for lack of a better word, free, how people talk about TikTok, it's just organic marketing, even YouTube, these same ways. If you're not putting any ads into it, and man, it's just getting that full profit. I tell people all the time, it's like my biggest expenses right now are ClickFunnels, So I kind of just love that, kind of taking that route, and especially it's what you put into it too. So I know if I'm putting in the time, and I'm able to talk to as many people as I can, and just have conversations, build these relationships, then I'm, once I got my first result, then it's kind of like, you realize, okay, let me rinse and repeat. Let me keep doing this over and over. And then this way, it's also been a great way to kind of build up, because I do it so much organically, but next year I want to kind of build back up on the ads as well, because it's going to be so much more of the reinvesting. But at this point now that I've been doing it through content and things like that, my Facebook group are doing lives, and I'm doing these kind of videos and pieces, but just not in the traditional YouTube or TikTok sense. But in my mind, I've been really building it up. When I tell people as well is, practicing my copywriting basically through all this content I'm writing, and all of these true marketing skills, So really, really just making sure I'm staying consistent, so that now when I'm putting my money into it, I'm just going to be that much more sharp with it. I'm going to have, all these conversations I'm having. It's like kind of like ammunition too, you're talking about who you're targeting when you're actually putting these ads out, who you're looking for, who's your target audience, your customer avatar. It's so important to know, and I can just go based off of the raw data. It's like, even when you're doing ads, you have to test these things. So when I'm doing organically, it's like I'm doing the testing kind of on my own terms, basically. And yeah, in my experience, it's just been so powerful. So it's just kind of kept me to stay in that lane for this long.
Well, let's go over here and break down some of the stuff that you're doing. Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you see your profile?
I can. I like what I'm seeing.
I'm liking what I'm seeing too much. Damn, I got to respond here.
Oh man, you're hurting
busted. Busted.
Oh.
All right, let me confirm that right quick.
Oh man, that was my heart right there.
So here we go. So first and foremost, clarity. You are clear about who you are helping, who your target audience is. If we were thinking in terms of fishing, you're clear on the species that you're targeting, right? You can't go out into a lake, which is freshwater, and hope to catch a grouper, which is a saltwater fish. You got to be clear on what you're targeting. So I help affiliate marketers escape the rat race and develop a full-time online business.
And to hit that point where you were saying there, if you're not clear on who you're targeting, if you're targeting everybody, you're targeting nobody. It's you just can't do that. So I absolutely have to be dialed in.
So I want to point out the fact that your target market is not, I help people escape the rat race and develop, because people is the 7 or 8 billion people that are in the world, right?
Yes, exactly.
Whereas affiliate marketers are the couple of million or whatever that are super active in affiliate marketing right now, who are not getting the results that they want, right?
Absolutely. And to add on to that too, it's like, you don't want to, when I'm talking to people, coaching people, I tell them you don't want to leave it too open-ended either. A lot of times you'll see something like, I help you reach your maximum potential. Or,
woohoo!
What does that mean?
Totally, man. If you can't ask a specific question and get a specific answer, right? If there's not like, if you can't, this is the big kind of secret or trick or strategy of niching down. Yeah. It's like, if I can't be sitting in a room full of people and say in one sentence who should walk with me to go to the next room to talk about what I do, then I'm not being clear enough. And so
back to the drawing board. Absolutely.
Clarity. And Justice, I think one of the biggest hiccups and challenges that us marketers have is we think that we're leaving opportunity on the table by narrowing down, don't we?
Spot on. That's so spot on. And even I was guilty of it at first too. Absolutely. You think, let me just promote to every person who's interested in entrepreneurship, and like I'll sign it. I'll be good to go. It's like, oh.
I also want to point out something else. Okay, you've gone and you've really optimized your brand here. I like this. You're looking like a whole snack right here on your banner.
Appreciate that, brother.
Okay, and you've got 3 things in your bio. Now, there's one thing that is like a subliminal message, which I love, which is invest in yourself. The other 2 are entrepreneur, affiliate marketer. Now, most people's bio, especially because we have this this idea that we want to be, you know, the more things in our bio, the more things we are, the more that makes us look successful.
Yeah,
so it's
the more attractive we are. Yeah.
E-commerce entrepreneur, investor. Like if we bought $2 worth
Forex,
of Bitcoin, we're investor now, right?
Exactly.
Entrepreneur, affiliate marketer, funnel hacker, you know, funnel builder, email marketer, and it's all these things, right?
Software specialist, exactly. Come on.
Coach, consultant, right? We got,
come on.
The bio is all full of stuff, right?
It's like, you know what? If I can just get one person that hits one of those 15 things, I got them.
But I like your message because subliminally, the first thing is right there. It's a message to anybody who lands on your profile: invest in yourself. What did you do that intentionally, or talk to me about that?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. It's, you know, it's so, man, you already mentioned it previously today. It's just so important. And even in myself, I think about the journey that's led me to this point. Like I said, you know, Ellen was my first true investment in myself in this kind of business. Before that, it was like, you know, a $40 investment elsewhere, something just small stuff. It's like, once you finally put that step in, I know for me, and like you kind of touched on too, now even mentally, like I am committed now. So no matter if I could take 10 L's after this first investment, but at least if I know that I'm going the marathon. And I think that once you do that, you're so much more committed, and you're not just, you know, the freebie seekers are always looking for freebie stuff. So at the end of the day, if you have that mentality, you're not going to make it. I mean, the odds are just not in your favor, I should say. You know.
So that's a big deal. The other thing I want to point out is profile picture. So check this out, guys. A lot of times, especially for us dudes, we want to do the whole GQ thing, right? We want to put out, it's kind of like, I feel like there's a scene for every situation in life from the movie Dumb and Dumber. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but where Jim Carrey's, he's like, I'll just hang by the bar and put off the vibe, right? You know, and too many dudes on Facebook and in social media, they want to like put off the vibe. And I'm going to tell you something that, guys, what that really, and then a lot of you guys act creepy, like you go basically sexual. You know,
too far with it.
Yeah, you go sexual. Then all of a sudden you're in the DMs, and it's like you know. You're making people feel uncomfortable right out of the gate. You are down on a knee, kissing your wife's hand, making it really crystal clear that you're not out here trying to talk game to females.
You know, absolutely. And it kind of goes back to is, you know, your brand, it's kind of building that authority and who your target audience is. Myself, we already talked about, you know, I have a daughter. I'm a family man at this point in my life. So, you know, it's like that's kind of the person I'm trying to attract. I talk to you all the time. You'll never see me with a Lamborghini picture in my profile thing or something like that. You know, it's like, because that's not what I'm looking for. I know that people who were in my shoes, you know, whether in the corporate or just any kind of blue collar, any job, they're looking to just for a better life. And most likely they have a family that they want to get there with, get that time freedom, financial freedom. It all ties in. So absolutely.
And also, it's gonna make a female feel more safe to talk to you when you're putting it right out there that you're married, happily married, not because you're not looking all GQ. Yo, if you look at my profile picture, I've always done the same thing. Now recently, over the past year, I got my mask because I'm representing, trying to, you know what I mean? Just
current.
Do the right thing, right? You know, it's just like wear the mask, do the right thing, stop making it political, whatever. So I put that up. But check out my old profile pic, me and the wifey.
Look, I'm telling you, I don't even think I've noticed that one before. Exactly, though, man. Oh,
look, I'm Gucci'd up. It's all but I'm getting the kiss, right?
Priority.
I'm not out trying to stunt. I'm not out trying to pimp. I'm not out trying to make moves and look like that dude on social media. I'm doing my thing, but I'm not looking to flirt or connect.
Exactly. And it's like, even if you are just, you know, a single guy, it's like you can have, compared to the GQ way to go about it, you could have a more casual picture, which will just show you more down to earth. You know, you don't have to go all the way into a suit and tie and just everything. Hey, you know, it depends on your audience, of course, but absolutely.
Here I went super gangster.
Look at that. I see you, bro. With the
There I went
and all.
super nerd with the man bun.
Look, I can't even tell. Oh, I can see that kind of in the back there. Man.
Here I'm like super cigar dude, hanging out, laid back.
Listen, I like that you kept these too. You know, it's like
I went a little more GQ sexy on this, but you know that one didn't last long.
Yeah.
Here I am, super. You know, it's just. I think it's just about what vibe. The point that I'm making here, guys, is like what vibe are you putting out? Like, are you putting out that you're like entrepreneur, but hey, also am kind of open to talking to people? You know, like what vibe are you putting out? I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Keep a consistent brand. Absolutely there.
So you've got a nice call to action right here also. You can choose your main photo that you use. So you know, this will be the photo that showed on mobile. It makes it really clean. Exactly. You've got a call to action right here. Join my free group above. You've got a link right there to your group. So that's super clean. That's super clear. Nice call to action there.
And this personal, Facebook personal kind of organic strategy here in general, I think a lot of people sleep on the fact of not thinking that their personal page is like a funnel. It's like you're showing who you are. It's not from ClickFunnels, but at the end of the day, it's a gateway into your world. And if you give them access, make them feel comfortable enough, it can be super effective. So yeah, I think a lot of people overlook that fact.
Well, I think when we think of a funnel, we just automatically think that it has to be a piece of software.
Exactly.
And it's not. I mean, before ClickFunnels, before sales funnels, before all these online page builders were ever a thing, what do you think people did? Do you think they didn't sell stuff? They had direct mail campaign funnels. They had retail funnels. They had telemarketing funnels to where, you sort of cast a net, going back to the fishing analogy, you sort of cast a large net to a population or a segment or a demographic of people who had a problem. You're casting a specific net to them, and you're going to funnel a certain amount of them who respond to your offer to the next step, And in this case, your goal of Facebook marketing is to cast that large net with one of these posts that you make and ultimately bring people to your profile to then either join your group or send you a direct message, right?
Absolutely.
That's sort of the next step. And I mean, we could go back and we could say, well, the next step might be to get them to friend request you. And then over time, as they see enough posts, which you're clearly making regularly, as they see enough posts from you, they may not respond or join your Facebook group or DM you right away. But now that you're in their timeline, it's sort of like being in their email inbox. You have an opportunity to stay in front of them. What would you add to that?
Well, I think even the train with the blueprints, either there or the 15-day challenge you had mentioned, email marketing, it's like after the first 7 touches, it takes like 7 to 12 touches, and then someone's so much more likely to trust you. It's the exact same kind of scenario. Thinking outside the box. Yes, this is an email, but the same application can apply here basically. So, totally.
Well, we could argue, Justice, that the way that sort of like the Facebook algorithm is built, for example, if somebody is liking your post, engaging in your post, then they're going to see it. That's the content that Facebook's going to put in front of them more often.
Exactly.
So
they're all about building relationships.
We could argue that Facebook marketing, the way that we're talking about doing it, that you're doing it, might even be as or more effective than email marketing in terms of them seeing your message, right?
Absolutely, especially with all the new reactions that they're adding. Before there wasn't a love button and a ha-ha. I think that the algorithm sees all of this, and it's like, it's like I said, at the end of the day, they're all about building, if they see that someone, I love Dave's post. Oh, Dave looks fine. They must be close,
Yeah.
And then you see it on YouTube, a lot of these other as well. Once you start liking something, they recognize it, and it's just going to put you in front of their face that much more.
Yeah. I mean, I could go right here and I could like this post, and now guaranteed, because I'm hanging on your profile and because I just liked a post, I'm going to start seeing your post more often.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about, first and foremost, you're taking advantage of every opportunity. You're on the Wake Up Show today. You posted about that. But let's talk about the couple of different kind of posts that you make. I'm assuming that there's not just one. There's maybe a couple of different ways that you approach making a post. Now, clearly, this is sort of, I would assume, a post to try to get more people to like your stuff, right? You don't have a call to action. It's not a real long form copy post. Whereas,
or just like a lifestyle post. Exactly. Getting people to resonate with me that much more.
Okay. So you're basically calling this a lifestyle post where you're posting a picture of something that you're doing with your family, letting people get to know who you are more. And basically the goal of this post is simply just to kind of build rapport with people and also to kind of build up the likes and get on their radar, right?
Absolutely. Kind of back to, tying in the brand all together. It's like, like I said, I have the picture of my wife there, my profile picture. I'm trying to give it that I'm a parent, I'm a family man. So the fact that I kind of show this shows, like you said, building rapport, getting to know who you would be working with, who just talking to my audience and having a target. Like I said, can't target everybody. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so now we go down here and we've got more of a kind of results post. Okay,
yep.
This was on the 1st of January. What are you thinking when you do this? What are you looking to accomplish? Are you there's not a call to action here. I guess there's a drop of 2021 if you're interested in my one-on-one support. So talk us through kind of the funnel of a post like this.
Absolutely. Well, just talking about content in general, I definitely have a couple different structures I use. Like for this one, it's super important having a hook that first off captures people, then getting a strong sub headline after that, really kind of feeding off of that hook. That's why I say back to the copywriting, it's so much like ads if you're just willing to see it that way. And so now at this point, trying to get them engaged, addressing people's problems, giving them solutions, and then adding a call to action, letting them know, hey, I understand you might be going through this. I went through this, kind of throw salt on the wound a little bit, just so, because without pain, there's no transformation. Sometimes, for someone to really pull out their wallet, an investor, whatever the case is, take that next step. There has to be something wrong, or else why would they move forward? So I think that's a big part of what I kind of try to do in my strategy is just really address those problems. And once again, I don't have to go far to look for problems because I'm talking to so many people every day. So now, once again, ammunition for my content.
Yeah. And do you find that this, if you're interested in one-on-one support versus a course, or if you'd like to, do you feel that this call to action, is this one of the primary calls to action that you use? Is it the only call to action? Do you use other calls to action in terms of sort of the result that you're offering to people, or the help that you're offering is sort of, if you're interested in one-on-one support, drop a comment below and we'll be in touch?
That's one of the strategies too. You know what? At the end of the day, I think I'm just trying to at least start a conversation. I think a lot of the time, so even if I don't say one-on-one support, at least something like, if you're curious about how to convert your sales better, how to generate more traffic organically, how do you need help with your funnel, just getting them once again to talk to me one-on-one. And then from there, that's when, if I want to lead them in the direction of a course or maybe a more one-on-one situation, I can gauge the conversation based off of how they're going, where their struggles are, what challenges they're having. And then from there, it just allows me. So I would say that kind of one-on-one is one thing I throw out there, but at the end of the day, just looking to get the contact started.
Yeah, just get a conversation going. So here we've got another lifestyle post, right? Family. Yeah. It's kind of like, let's get some Merry Christmas. Let's get some likes going. Now I'm getting these likes. I'm now on their radar. So that makes sense. So here we've got what would you call this kind of post? The number one problems with regrets.
This is more one of my, I would call this a value type of post, I guess, if I had to call it something there. Once again, you'll notice, kind of like I said, just addressing problems. I forget exactly how I wrote that, what I wrote in that post right now, but at the end of the day, I'm once again capturing with the curiosity. Number one problem with regrets, my goal is, and what Facebook does is when you first are scrolling through your timeline, it kind of shows the headline, like I said, the subheadline. They don't click if you want to read more. My goal is to make you want to click read more every time. Exactly, see more there. So
let's look at how they originally. Let's look at how they originally put this post. So, hold on a second. Where is it?
There we go. Yep. I think it's right above. Oh wait, was it? Never mind. I thought that was it. I don't think that's it. Oh, that's a different one.
It seems like I just lost it somehow. I don't know how I lost it, but
keep scrolling down. I think you should.
Oh,
I think it's below that one. There we go.
Wait. I've actually gone through quite a bit of.
Maybe you. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't realize I missed so many of these. Okay.
Posted a lot.
All right, so you're writing this like you're writing an ad or even a sales letter. This is the headline, right? So it's like if you were to land on a sales page. I'm going to bring up the challenge sales page.
Yep.
The first thing you're looking at right at the top of the screen. Sorry about this loading.
I know. Of course, I know what it says there too, and absolutely.
So, anyways, the at the top of the screen, above every sales letter, on the top of every page, we have a headline, right? And that headline is the attention grabber. It's the hook. And so you're writing these Facebook posts as if you are writing an ad or a sales letter with that top sentence being the headline, and then here's your sub headline or whatever, or your lead in, and your only goal, as you just said, is to get them to click see more, right?
Exactly, all the way there. And then once again, lead them now through. They're interested. Okay, now I got them. Now I have to actually lead them through, walk them down that path, that if they're not making the changes needed, here's what's going to happen. X, Y, Z is going to happen. You're going to keep running into the same problems. Just walking them down that path.
So I noticed, Justice, that every post doesn't have a hardcore call to action.
Yes, that's right there. And I feel like even in guys on TikTok too are the same way, similar, where not every time they're saying, click the link in my bio. So I kind of try and treat it the same way there. Not constantly throwing at them, but once again, what I kind of tell people too is, closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not willing to put an call to action ever, which you see all the time, people just giving value without actually asking for them. It's like, on YouTube, you have to tell people, and hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. If you don't tell them that, they probably won't do it. That's just how it is. So I treat it the same way, where I don't do it every time, but I at least make sure to get in there.
Well, I do want to point out that in this particular post, you did end with a question, right? So if you guys, I think one of the things that is a major shift for a lot of new marketers coming online is to move from talking at people to talking to people.
Engagement, yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Completely agree there. It's going to help you out down the line. It's going to help your post get to more people. They're going to actually, that's the other thing as well. I do things where I'm kind of offering lead magnets as well, because people are not going to comment otherwise. I get people who read my post, after, like, I just had someone earlier this week, or last week, where they said, I've been, checking your post the last month or so. Like, I love what you're doing. Like, let's talk. But I was like, shoot, I feel like I've never seen this guy like a single post of mine. But, sometimes you just have to get them to say up, speak up and say something, especially if you have something that you're willing to offer them.
Yeah, I think that, I think one of the biggest things for us as marketers, marketing using a strategy like this on Facebook, is that it's a massaging process. And what I mean by that is, it's like it's a process that happens over time. Like when you have a knot, you go into a massage, they don't just touch one thing and all of a sudden the knot is gone. It's like you work it, you massage it, you take it slow. You're not in a rush. You're not desperate. I think one of the big things that, especially when you're doing organic marketing, if you're running ads and you're paying for every single time somebody looks at your ad or clicks on your ad, you need to be a little bit more aggressive with your calls to action because you're paying for that. But if you're doing organic marketing and it's not costing you anything to do it, it gives you all the more opportunity not to be desperate. And what I see right here and what's coming up for me is I'm looking at a lot of your ads here, which is what these are. These are sort of free organic ads that you're putting on to your
I'll
page.
like to see it. Absolutely.
They don't come across desperate because you're not dropping in. Every single post is about them. It's about giving value to them. It's about giving them education. It's about giving them entertainment, as I call edutainment. And it's making light and indirect even calls to action to ask questions, to get them to comment down below or to get them to send you a direct message. So how, Justice, have you basically have you settled into your business to where you've become more patient to look at it, because this is a long-term strategy. This is how have you developed the patience and lost the desperation that you have to make a sale today, that you have to sell to somebody today? Talk us through a little bit of that mindset of this strategy.
Detaching from the yes is so huge. Exactly. All the time here, especially if you put money in it, it's a big difference. But yeah, when you're doing it this way, you're hungry for something, especially when you're first starting. I think that's the toughest part when you're first starting with this. And like you said, it's not going to be like, oh, that first week, I'm definitely getting a sale type of thing. It's, it really is a long-term game. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as I say, and so many people say over and over. So yeah, the longer you stay in it, the better it's going to be. Because like I said, a guy from 2 months ago has reached out to me now. And that's just one example where, man, the longer you stick with it, it's just going to pay off that much more. It's just that much more. But yeah, it's not easy though to detach from that. Yes, I get that. But once again, it's like you have to believe in your strategy too. I think that a lot of times you don't want to jump around from. I see people doing like 6 platforms when they're first starting out. I think you need to also choose 1 or 2 and just focus first. So now you know that you're in it and you know that you're going to be consistent. And hey, with consistency and persistence, it'll pay off.
Yeah. So there's also this concept of magnetizing people and becoming magnetic. And one of the best ways to become magnetic is to not chase people, right? And one of the things, one of the things we learn this when just in life with the people that we're attracted to is that, the more desperate, the more we chase them, the more we let everybody know how available we are, the less desirable we are. Whereas the more unavailable you are, the more desirable you are. So by you constantly, now you're clearly available because you're posting here, but you're not desperate and you're not announcing to everybody and asking people, on every single post, message me, please, comment, right? So what happens is when you market like this, especially when you have the time and space and room to market because it's free, it's not costing you anything, you actually get people now who are chasing you. They're paying attention to you. And all of a sudden, if they were to reach out to you, which I'm sure you get all the time in your inbox, just, hey, I've been watching your stuff and I'm really just curious. Now that's an even more qualified lead, right?
Absolutely. That's a much warmer and exactly qualified lead there. That part helps out so much. And what a big part of building a brand authority this way is And, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, you're doing some outreach, but what you really want and the goal for this is that attraction marketing, exactly, where people are now coming to you and now coming to look and, you know, what are you doing? And it doesn't have to be just throwing people, you know, results all the time. Like you saw, I had like one result post there, but besides that, you know, I don't like throwing results in people's faces all the time. It's like, you know, they should be able to tell by the value that you're giving and just, you know, just how you conduct yourself that, you know, hey, if I'm the type of person you want to work with, you know where to find me. You know where to find me.
Right. And when you're selling products, whether, you know, higher ticket affiliate courses, training, and you're selling your own coaching and consulting, which comes with a higher ticket price tag, which means higher profits, you don't have to sell to as many people to make six figures. You don't have to, you're not running an Amazon store here. I think a lot of us need, you know, a lot of us who have done, who are getting into affiliate marketing, who are learning from us, need to really understand the power of patient marketing and finding the right products to market. Because when you find the right products to market, which deliver exceptional value at a higher price tag, it gives you more room as a affiliate, as a coach, to be able to deliver a more quality product, a more quality experience, because there's more profit there. You're more excited about doing it, and you don't have to service as many people.
Man, such a beautiful thing there. And like, it allows you, you know, I tell people time to work with, focus on your sales process. Like, you know, for me, exactly, you don't want to waste, once again, you don't want to talk to everybody because not everybody is worth your time, and you don't want to be, you know, I try and, you know, get on phone calls as much as I can as well, so I can end up closing sales as well. So I feel like you don't want to be talking to everyone who's not serious and not a, like you said, qualified lead. That's so important there at the end of the day. Yeah.
So you're not afraid to get on the phone?
Absolutely not, man. I love, you know, I love it. And before, I've never done any sales job. I've never even been like a waiter, but something about it, you know, once again, once you, imperfect action, once you dive in, get notes, what you're doing wrong, what you need to do to improve. You know, I get on Zooms on a daily basis. Absolutely.
I just, why are some of us like, why are some of us so willing to do whatever it takes while others are just spending so much time and working so hard trying not to do work? It's like, haven't you guys realized that the magical autopilot money machine that drops commissions without doing any work doesn't exist?
Yeah, like, I mean, come on, exactly.
When you're willing to do whatever it takes, jump on the phone, have a quick Facebook, face call.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, when you're willing to do that, it's like you don't even, it's like you actually, just because something shifts in the universe, that just you being willing to do it, it's like you don't have to do it as much. But you create so much more business. You close so many more sales, even as an affiliate, to be willing to just hop on a quick call and just be like, hey, look, I'm real. Like, you know, what can I answer for you? What do you need to know to believe?
Yeah. Build that rapport so much faster. Instead of having a 3-day messenger conversation, I can get on a phone call in 30 minutes. We can, you know, establish so much rapport, understand what they're looking for, and potentially close a sale. It's like, instead of having to drag this thing out over days, I just sign up for people who are qualified enough. Once again, don't waste your time. But, you know, someone says, oh, I got $1 to my name. Okay, maybe I'm not going to jump on a phone call with you. But at the end of the day, it can just be so helpful there. But, oh, yeah, people need so important to, once you wrap your mind around this, get uncomfortable or get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's how you grow. That's how you grow there, man. Oh,
you can do all this from your cell phone, by the way, guys. Everything that we've went over today,
absolutely,
you can do from your cell phone, including Facebook, if that's your main strategy, audio messages, video calls.
Totally. And what they're doing, little things to help, you know, build that rapport so much faster. So much time is when I'm doing Messenger, because so many people are just talking to Messenger using text. I send a picture of what I'm doing right now, you know. Oh, I'm actually at my table eating some breakfast, you know. Just, man, letting people into your world that much more. Yeah. It's like, Yeah, not enough people are willing to kind of do that. Yeah, just I know it's maybe mental roadblocks. I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Well, I got two phones, man, because one of the things that I
Wow.
do, every single person that buys our blueprints, I send a personal welcome message to.
I remember that. I forgot about that. Now that you said that, shoot.
Right? Like what I got two phones because I can be that much more active on my phones, even if I'm just sending people, coaching clients messages or whatever. I can just, like, if something's uploaded, I got another phone that I'm working on, and this phone has no apps on it. It just has Slack and camera.
Focus. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is my main phone. It's got all my stuff on it. But this is just, and if I need social media, I can just go into like that little folder right there, but it's super focused. This is just a work phone. Not that I don't shoot videos and stuff on this, but it's just like, this is how I optimize my time. And it's not a new iPhone. It's an older iPhone. It doesn't have to be the 12 or the 11. It's an older one. Got a camera on it, though. It's got a camera and it's got a microphone.
There you go. You can send a voice memo. All these things that are just so quick and easy to do. Just need a phone. Need a phone. It's a beautiful part, you know. Oh. And once again, it's like people talk about kind of like the laptop on a beach lifestyle. It's like, hey, I can just be in the comfort of my home with my family. My wife, my daughter in the other room right now. It's like, who are you trying to talk to? Exactly. Who are you trying to talk to and who you're trying to resonate with? Because that's what you got to give off in your marketing and in all your strategies. Like I was talking before about a sales process. It's like it's important to have these things because now you know where people are falling off. Where is it where you're losing people? Maybe it's at some point during the call when you say something now you keep saying that and people aren't resonating with it and you keep losing people then. Or before you even get in the call, you're talking to the messenger. You're telling them you're bringing up the wrong things and once it's just like ads. You just need to test and test and test. I think people, underestimate that process there.
Well, one of the things that I want to point out, and then I want to end with my final question that's sort of become a tradition, but I want to just point out to everybody who's listening, everything that we went over, just this entire strategy today, it involves no video. It's all copywriting. And so I would so invite you guys to understand the power of copywriting, the power of direct response marketing. The foundation of the marketing strategies that we teach here are rooted in the founders, in the forefathers, if you will, of our industry. The John Carltons, the Gary Halberts, the David Ogilvies, all these cats who back in the day were writing direct response mail pieces that were going out. And if you're not a student of copywriting, I mean, you guys can go to thecopyplaybook.com and you guys can somebody drop that into the chat? You guys can go to thecopyplaybook.com right now before we take this away and change this, because we are no longer going to be offering this for $1. But if you want to go and grab a course for $1 today, that will get you into the world of copy, that will give you swipe files. It will help you to start to understand the power of direct response marketing. You can go to thecopyplaybook.com. This is not a money maker for us on this. This is something that will just change your life. You can pick it up for $1. And if you want to use a strategy like this, it's all built and based around copy. And I just want to just validate you and congratulate you because clearly you can do video, but you have chosen to hone and develop a skill, my brother, that is going to be a game changer for you. And dare I say, there's some hype coming here. A money printing machine for you for the rest of your life, because you understand how to persuade through the power of the written word. And I just want to congratulate you for taking the bull by the horns to develop that skill, because it truly is the difference between my success over the years and pretty much every other marketer who kind of struggles and the marketers who really thrive. So congrats on that, man.
Appreciate that. I appreciate even saying too, like, you realize I could do video if I wanted as well. Like I do Facebook Lives in my group. At the end of the day, like this is just kind of the main strategy I'm going with on a day-to-day basis, and trying to focus on the income producing activities. This is what's been working for me. So it's like, yeah, just go strong and stay consistent with whatever you're choosing. No, thank you so much. Appreciate those kind words.
So before we end, pretend you were in the very beginning, you yourself, and you knew what you know now. What would you tell yourself?
Ooh, what? I mean, first, I guess I already had the mindset to just go all in for sure. What would I tell myself? Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one there. If I was going to this new, what would I tell myself? Be ready for road bumps. There's tough days along the way. So obviously that's like anything too, you know, stick with it, be consistent, because man, the good days are coming. Man, you're stumping me with this one here, Dave. Shoot. Man. What would I tell myself really? Get into this the first day. Get yourself out there and focus on the skills that matter. Marketing and sales. That's what I would tell myself. Marketing and sales. That's what makes an affiliate marketer a marketer. Like you said, at the end of the day, be able to kind of print money like you were kind of hyping up there. That's the goal though. You know, being able to do that, you have to have skills in marketing and sales in order to do that. Otherwise, if you try and look for shortcuts, you know, even myself, I was looking up on stuff on YouTube constantly and wasting 5 hours a day looking at stuff. It's like, that's not going to get you where you need to be. You need to focus and invest in yourself and learning and building those skills there. You know, even I bought the blueprint so long ago, it feels like, but even now, like I said, I've been building on my coaching and consulting. It's like, man, your side on that. It's like, I just was focused on the affiliate side. It's like, you know, the fact that I invest in myself, now I have yourself, Mark Harbert there, where I can just kind of go back and use those resources. It's like, man, focus on marketing and sales, and the rest I believe will come. Because, you know, there's such broad topics, and if you're really diving in and knowing that's where you're placing your time and energy, it's a matter of time from there.
If somebody was standing, awesome advice, by the way, very helpful. If somebody was standing at our checkout page or watching this and deciding, should I get involved with a company community like Legendary Marketer, what would you say to them? Do it.
That's where I started, and it's like, I hate to say, look at me now, but look at me now type of thing, you know? You need to invest in yourself, and if you're really, how bad do you want it? I think that's also it. What's your why? Like, are you just doing this as a side hustle to kind of mess around? Hey, don't buy it. You know, maybe you're not going to take it that seriously, but are you actually trying to change your life? And if the answer is yes, then quit messing around. Jump in, because or else things are going to stay the same. And if you're okay with that, fine. But otherwise, I don't think you are. That's why you're at the checkout page to start.
Yeah, no doubt. You wouldn't be looking if you weren't. Yeah, bro, I am way overdue and late for another call, but I've enjoyed this conversation so much.
Likewise, man, thank you so much for having me here today. This was great.
Yeah, man, please, if you're willing, come back, keep us updated in a couple of months.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time here, Dave. Man, this has been awesome. Thank you.
Right,
thank you to the whole LM family.
Hey, brother, thank you so much. And, best wishes. Be safe, be well, be legendary to you and your whole family.
You too, my man. Take care.
Right,
hey, thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from, which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel, and absolutely go ahead and join us in our Original Chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.